So one that I've been testing for several weeks now, and I'm very, very happy with how this fragrance turned out. It's a true flanker and a true EDP concentration to the original, in my opinion. Of course, I'm talking about Mont Blanc Legend EDP. Stay tuned. So we'll start off with the box. I did pick up a 50 ml, as you can see right here on the gold. Mont Blanc Legend Eau de Parfum. I picked this up from fragrancebuy.ca. Mont Blanc logo on the top. Design just carries around. On the back, same as the front. Then you have some fragrance information, batch code stamped in the bottom here. Nothing special in the box. In regards to the bottle, so it is a high gloss reflective fingerprint magnet, because this is all glass painted black on the inside, similar to Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum. And you have the Mont Blanc logo, and instead of being etched, it's actually printed in gold, because it's actually etched and embossed in the others in the line. And then the same thing continues around to the back. Fragrance information on the bottom. It does click into place, but I would advise really holding it if you can help it. Black atomizer. Atomizer does very well. Let's get into the scent. So, Mont Blanc Legend EDP. So, there's no mistaking, let me put this right here, that when you smell that, you will think of the original. This is the original EDT, a 1 ounce bottle. So, the way I would rank these, because several people since I got it have asked me about the Intense Flanker as well, which this is a tester bottle. As you can see by the sticker on the back, I bought this before they were hitting Marshalls about 1.5 years ago. I had bought a tester online because they had just been discontinued at that time, and I wanted to hurry up and grab it before the prices shot up. Yay for me. So obviously this is kind of the way I like to describe it to people is a slightly more refined, a little bit more matured version of Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. But no denying, this is their version of Fierce. And this is just a much, much fruitier version. Yes, it does perform a lot better. You do get better longevity, and it projects quite well. This is the best projecting of the three. But the difference with this one from the original is it takes the fruits, the apple and the pineapple and stuff like that, and it's really, really heightened. This is a very, very fruity version, an intense version. It's the right type of intense flanker, essentially. It's stronger, and the fruits are just heightened. So, whereas with this one, this is much more polished and smooth. That's what I can say is the best part of Legend EDP, is it's so much smoother. It takes any rough edges that the EDT or the Intense had and rounds it off. It takes those edges and just smooths them off. So up top you're going to get just this rich fruit accord, and the apple really takes over in this one. It's a very rich, warm apple, and I don't mean warm as in mixing with cinnamon to make a warm, spicy apple pie type of thing. No, not at all. It's very rich, warm, and smooth, and that apple accord hangs out for quite a while. I was very impressed with how long the apple hangs out. And the violet leaf essentially dominates this fragrance. After the apple starts to tone down, I pretty much smell violet leaf the rest of the life of the fragrance. It doesn't change a whole lot. It doesn't become extremely woody. It doesn't nuance where I get different things here and there. Outside of that, apple and fruitiness does fade after a few hours. I would say after about 2 hours or so, it does really tone down quite a bit. And it's mostly a, familiar, just smoother version of this, essentially. It's so well blended, I don't really pick out a whole lot in the note breakdown outside of the violet leaf. The violet leaf is very distinctive and prominent to me in this fragrance. This is beautiful. Okay, getting aside from notes or anything like that, let's just break it down to, does it smell good or not? In my opinion, this is the best one in the line. And I do have all three versions. Now, I don't have every flanker. I do have Legend Spirit. I don't have Legend Night and Legend Summer, or any of the 3 years they did that. This is beautiful. We'll get to performance in just a minute, but it's just so smooth and so warm and refined. And this is actually, like I used to tell people, this was a slightly more mature version of Fierce. This is the more mature version of Fierce. I think they knocked it out the park with this one. Obviously, they jumped on the trend of putting out the EDP flankers like a lot of the other designers have been doing for the last year or so. And I think this is one of the better ones. I really, really like this. It's so rich and smooth. That I know I've said that probably twice already, but it really is. That's the best way to describe this, is the richness and fullness. It really smells like a just higher concentration of the original, which in my opinion, if you're going to do an Eau de Parfum flanker, it shouldn't drastically change. It should become richer, fuller, and just a higher oil concentration. And they achieved that here. I think they did it right. I really do. Because they did it right with the Intense, in my opinion. Where a lot of people, I guess the reason this one got discontinued is it's too similar to the EDT to where people didn't want to do it, I guess, because you can get the EDT cheaper. But this is an Intense version of the original Eau de Toilette. I really have to commend whoever made the decisions for this line at Mont Blanc for the beauty products, because like I said, this is how it should be done, in my opinion, because this is a true Eau de Parfum flanker to that fragrance. It didn't add a bunch of notes. It added a little bit, and the violet leaf's kind of new and prominent, but it didn't veer away and veer off the path of what Mont Blanc Legend actually is. It stayed true to the DNA, and I mean through and through. There's no mistaking this is Mont Blanc Legend, and it made it better. It made it better. The only other one I can think of that went down the Eau de Parfum flanker path that did it just as well, if not maybe a little better, was Spice Bomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum, where they took that one. Yes, they did add some nutty notes and pistachio and all, but it really added this creaminess to it and really rounded it off and made it better. Same thing here. They made it better. Don't hesitate to get this one. If you like this, you're gonna love this. That's my opinion. Does it project like crazy? No. We need to touch on the performance. It's not a monster in projection. It does sit a bit closer to the skin, but the trail's a little bit stronger because it's a higher concentration, so it's going to linger. Naturally, that's just the way it is. The higher the concentration of oils, the density's thicker, so it's going to hang in the air a little bit longer than an EDT or an eau de cologne would. But the beauty about this is the longevity is definitely there. So the last time I wore this one, I had took a shower at the 9-hour mark, and it was still coming off of my chest. I could still smell it coming off of my chest. Not strong, not heavy, but I was still getting wafts of it in the air. So I technically, from the several test sprays and the 2 times I've worn it, I have to leave it off at the 9-hour mark, because both times it was 8 hours when I got in the shower the last time, and it was 9 hours when I got in the shower this time. So I would say 8 to 9 hour range for sure. Arm's length projection in that first hour and a half, and then it does sit pretty close to the skin. Not a skin scent, and when I say pretty close, I don't mean to where you got to be right up on me to smell me. No, no, no. Because it does have a beautiful sillage and nice trail going on. A moderate trail, a little bit stronger than you would think. When you walk by somebody, this will really be able to grab them. And this can be a head turner. If somebody really likes the way it smells, that they find it intoxicating, this will definitely turn some heads. You know, where Mont Blanc Legend is a compliment getter in its own right, the EDP, it's that much better. I haven't gotten any compliments with it yet. I haven't spent a ton of time with it. I have spent several days with it so far. A little over a week I've been testing it. And I gotta say, long term, I believe it could garner some really good attention for you, because it takes a beloved DNA and makes it better. You know, but performance is about what you would expect for an Eau de Parfum concentration from a designer, where you get the longevity, but you don't get a ton of projection. So this one falls along the lines of the type of performance I get from Bleu de Chanel Parfum, where it has a real nice little aura, nice little bubble with a strong trail, but it doesn't really push out. It doesn't really project far. You know, it's not 6 feet away, you can smell me easily. It's not that kind of thing. But the longevity's there, and the scent quality is definitely there. I think this is blind buy worthy. Well, guys, that's my thoughts and feelings on Mont Blanc Legend EDP. And until next time, do me a real quick favor and go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have tried this already? How many of you love the EDT? And I mean, hey, if you love the EDT, I'm convinced you'll like the EDP. It's just that good to me. And prices are getting better and better. I grabbed a 50 ml I had the option to get a 100 milliliter bottle, obviously, but I really feel like it takes me so long to go through bottles now because I'm always testing something and I have so many and I always have new fragrances coming in that I figured I didn't need a 100 ml. Hell, I probably don't even need a 50 ml. A 1 ounce like this probably would have did fine because this has been lasting a long time. But absolutely a fantastic fragrance. I think this was a great release by Mont Blanc, one of the better releases from Mont Blanc in a while. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on Legend EDP and you give it a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.